It gives me, my name is Heather Loudon. I'm chair of the BizFed Development Committee, and welcome everyone, whichever nation you're from and whatever time it is, welcome. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Anita Laszlo, who is a physiotherapist, PE teacher and boccia coach, and I'm just going to ask her to introduce herself. As I've said, if anyone's got any questions throughout the seminar, please put them in the chat function. And just to say that no question is too silly, we're here to help. There will be 45 minutes of a presentation, and then I'd ask you to switch on your cameras, and if you have got a question, we'll take it from there. But it gives me great pleasure to hand over to Anita. Thank you, Anita.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning from all over the world. You are very welcomed at the Boccia Physical Warm-Up webinar. Please switch off your video and voice for the better hearing and screening. And I'm volunteering BizFed Development Committee and working as physiotherapist, PE teacher and boccia coach in a rehabilitation and education center in Hungary. The following presentation is upon our experiences with my colleagues in the past decade and divided to two sections. The first is providing you a general basic active and passive exercises, combine some gentle stretchings as well. And in the second section, you may ask questions or sharing your experiences in this field. Okay. Try to the full screen. It's okay? All right.
Yes, that's good, Anita. Full screen.
Okay. So what is the purpose of the warming up? The warming up is a preparation for a training and also preparation for a physically and mentally that you would like to achieve in the training and also in the competition. So I would say that a warming up is really a part of the training and part of the competition. That's why it's vital that for the attainment for an optimum performance. So the purpose of a warm-up, physical warm-up, it is not just prevent injuries. It is prepare the body for a higher performance, and with the passive and active warm-ups markedly influence subsequent exercise performance via increases muscle cross-bridge cycling rate and also the oxygen uptake kinetics, which enhance muscular function. That's why increasing body core and muscle temperature and also increasing the range of motion. This is activating your neuromuscular system and also your coordination, your body between your body movements. And that's why this could be a strategy for a pre-competition preparation. And also concentrating psychologically and mentally prepare yourself and your athlete for an upcoming event, and also the concentrate on the task ahead. We are speaking about warm-up times, so it could be a general for further workout and also sport specific. The sport specific is much more individualized for your special sport, in this case for the boccia, prior on the competitive match. Warm-up exercises can be active, so they are mainly dynamic exercises, and you can stretch through all your body and full range of motions, and also can be passive warm-ups. They are static exercises, and stretches mainly great for increasing the flexibility. We will start passive mobilization. Okay, passive mobilization is advisable to can be a manual mobilization, depend on individuals and get advice from a physiotherapist. And also passive stretching is advisable to be done by also physiotherapists or professionals. But I would point it out that if you are a coach, a trainer, or you are an assistant and you have a player and working with physiotherapists, the following, what you can see in the following videos, you can learn it from a physiotherapist and you can use it on our player as well, I'm sure very well, like a co-work with the player. So we are going to start passive exercises. So why we are doing passive exercises? They are stretchings. You can do it before an active warm-up. You can do it before competition and also among the matches. I experienced in my players that just being in a sitting position for hours, it's really, really tiring. So I'm taking out them between or among the matches and get a better circulation to the muscles, and also you can gain faster regeneration for them to prepare for the next match. And also after the competition, for cool down, it has a beneficial. So the tired muscles can refresh themselves more easily. So these passive exercises, I'm going to start, it's especially for the muscles and also especially for players who has cerebral palsy and in BC1, BC2 and in BC3 category. What I would like, and probably you will ask me that why they are I lay down my athletes, because I can stabilize the upper or the lower part of the trunk. And why I am working on a lower one, the upper one is stabilized. So you can be much more precise to do when you are working on muscles, and you can avoid injuries or strains. So in passive exercises, it is very important that do not cause any pain to your player. And also the player should breathing smoothly and concentrating to their muscles that under stretched out or under stretching. Who is doing the stretching is just doing it very slowly, always in each sections. And you can use three kind of techniques. Either you can just hold and feel, you can hold, relax and stretch, or the third one is the contract, hold, relax and stretch. Now I'm going to show you a video in which we are using only just the hold or hold 20 seconds, relax 2-3 seconds and stretch again 20 seconds. Okay, first, usually I'm starting with the hip flexors. Hip flexors and knee flexors, stretching out in both sides, holding them out for a while. You can do it very gently. I see now on the left side, which is stretching out. The left side is stretching out on the video right now. And then continues with the hip adductors. And on the opposite side, it's important that you hold the ilium and stabilize the ilium. From that, you can stretch the adductors on the opposite side. Always do in both sides. And there is another thing you should know, the condition of the hip joint of your athlete. So before you are doing, that's why I was saying that advisable drive by physiotherapist, you should know about the joint condition. Then after the hip adductors, we can stretch out the hip adductors and the gluteals and also the thoracic extensors, especially in the lumbar section. Also both sides, and hold it. You can hold it and relax a little bit and then also stretch again. Also important, yeah, now you can see it on the left side. I'm stabilized the ilium as well. And once stabilization, you can turn the other side, the trunk. I grab the athlete's scapula, so be careful not holding the humerus because you can make strains or injuries in the humerus as well. In this position, you can put the legs up and also stretches all through the lumbar and also the thoracic sections, the thoracic extensors. And also the gluteal ones. I'm carrying on with pectoralis major and minor. You can stretch out. You can do it also in the wheelchair, all together with both hands straight up, and you can stretch them out like that. In the wheelchair, you can do this as well in sitting position. And there are some additional techniques, for the hip flexor stretches on your prone. Not with every players you can do it. Probably they have high tension in the hip flexors, but there are some you can do it. And they will be very pleased if you are doing these stretchings with them, I'm sure, after sitting back in the chair. And also some Achilles stretches, especially is good to players who are kicking the ball. Especially the musculus soleus that you can stretch out with this method. And then I go through all for a passive warm-up. We are continuing with passive warm-ups for BC3 and BC4 athletes. Also passive warming up who has musculoatrophy. So the previous video was more about the muscles, and this will be more about the joints. Also, you can do it 100% passively. You can do it derived by yourself or a physiotherapist in the major directions, and your player actively can be involved in the movements as well. And the third type is that your player is doing it by itself. You are just holding their extremities. Watch out also the joint protections, doing it very, very slowly, and concentrate to the movement, and also the player need to concentrate to the movement. The best position is on the back or on the side, and also the exercises need to be stable and precisely derived. You can use additional pillows as well. So we start with shoulder flexion and extensions as well. And watch out the shoulder and the humerus joint very, very much. And then the elbow supination and pronation. And you can combine it with also the shoulder flexion and extension all together in the all range of motion as well. Adduction and abduction in the joint, and some circumduction. You can do it outside or inside. Stabilize the humeroscapular joints. As you can see, always usually stabilizing the joints under the one I'm working on. Flexion, extension, radial and ulnar deviations we can work out, and also with the fingers as well. And in the end, you can do some fascial release in the hand and going out all your joints and fingers. It can be really a good warm-up for the athlete. Usually they have really freezing cold hands and legs. So this warm-up could be really beneficial for the BC4 athletes, I'm sure. After that, we carry on with also, so these are about all the joints, hip and the knee joints, and you can make three flexion as well, also in the ankle joints as well. So all three joints can be mobilized all together, and also with the circumduction outside is really good. Outer rotation, the venous system is running among the muscles, so a better circulation, the outer circles are really good. You can make some stretches as well in the ankle. Very small stretches you can make. and also repeat it on the other side. It is really important. All these movements need to be very gentle and concentrate on your athlete as well. They communicate with you that how much you can make the exercises. And also a fascia release, it's really useful. Okay, so I carry on and continue with the other one. So your athlete can also lay on its sides, and sometimes it's better for them. So there are some athletes who feel much more comfortable, put some pillow between their arms as well. And if you have a small ball, you can make it also with a soft boccia ball. You go through all the thoracic and all side and all around the scapula for warming up, and also it's a fascia release as well for them. And you can warm up the muscles around. Also, the humeroscapular joints can be passively just mobilized. In both hands, you grab the humerus and doing slightly movements up, down, and all around. Also, we continue in the same way, so flexion and also extensions with the elbow and the shoulder can move and mobilize all together. Pronation and supination in the elbow, and also extension, flexion in the wrist. It is very similar way, just in another position. I wanted to show you because some athletes probably cannot lay down on their back. So could be another type of position. And some fascia release in the hand. And in the same way, on the side back, you can grab the lower extremity and also go through all the stretches that we have already done on the back. The difference here, you cannot do a triflexion, also the flexions in the hip and also in the knee. And circumduction, outer rotation is really good, as I have said before, for the circulation. Slight stretches you can make in the ankle as well, and also in the knee as well, if you hold this position for a while. The stretched out position you can hold. I advise to you, if you are going to a match, to take a mat with you and some pillows so you can help your athlete to lay out from the wheelchair and you can make some stretches with them. After these passive techniques, also there are other passive techniques, because I experience that after a warming up, a passive, and after also an active warming up, you need to keep the temperature, to keep the optimum temperature of the muscles of the athlete. So I advise you to use heated garments. Can be blankets, electric blankets, soft shell jackets, gloves, socks or caps, and keep all the body warm for the better performance.